How's it going, YouTube? It's Panda time. In this video we have Armor Rush going up against I can't say the name of the bird, it's like Zhuqiaomon or something like that. So this red deck is really cool. He's made this deck to focus on the bird. Essentially you can clear a white board, get a bunch of memory back, and then swing at security for a bunch of damage. So he describes it, it's kind of like a red Zhuqiaomon in a way. And you know, of course you have Crimson Blaze. I'll explain the deck as you see it, but it's actually a super cool, you know, concept. So we'll get to see. On the other hand, you know, Armor Rush is pretty solid. It's definitely one of the more hyped up decks from the BT8. We see, what is that, triple Beamon, getting all the searches, pretty good stuff. I think Armor Rush can like be super aggressive, and especially because, you know, you have the armor purge to protect yourself. Look at him going super wide. But again, this is exactly kind of like what the red deck wants, right? You're gonna put a bunch of buttons on the board, and then that's gonna make the bird be super explosive. Or he can, you know, punish with Crimson Blaze. So his deck plays a bunch of blockers, and as you see, Tikankari, because he wants the opponent to have a bunch of bodies but not swing, right? They're gonna be scared to swing because either they're gonna pass over memory or there'll be blockers. So they're gonna overextend into a big bird is the idea here. Digimon comes out. Now he gets to, you know, get a bunch of damage in. And like, okay, he's gonna be committed to passing over Tikankari memory no matter what, but I think that's okay. Like, just because Tikankari is out doesn't mean that you like never swing. So I think I like the play from the Armor Rush player. He picked this moment, and when he did go on the aggressive, he got quite a bunch of damage. We see Rise Gray gets to play Hero, you know, the new tamer, really good one for red. Also, Rise Gray can play Tikankari, so there's some extra synergy in his deck there. Gonna be swinging, but of course, Armor Purge is gonna protect. Crimson Blaze, pretty solid. Gets the discount. Armor Purge saves the other guy, but then it's gonna get killed off by the Zhuqiaomon, right? So pretty solid. We see a lot of progression from the Armor Rush, but at this point, you know, is he going to be able to close the game out? Hasn't been able to set up any tamers, and he is gonna be passing over 5 memory every single turn because of Tikankari and the hero. So actually ends up being a really tough position. Gonna just, you know, keep getting the searches, like very consistent, right? And you can see for the red deck, he even has the Digimon blocker. Actually, I like that card quite a bit. I know that, you know, blockers are not like doing too great these days, but like you play a lot of blockers, you're definitely gonna see them, and it makes sense in the red deck. So it's super cool concept. At this point, like, he already answered the initial aggression, and you know, he does have the blockers to try and stay alive. Hey, Digimon blocker into another blocker, that works. And then hard drop a Quadramon. Well, why not? Just another blocker. Interesting, you know, not opting to swing or anything like that. Playing very conservatively. Doesn't want to like check into, I guess, anything super scary. And he's in a good spot, right? He can wait and, you know, save for the right power play. Go into an armor in the back, and then set up the dual tamer. Davis and Ken, super powerful tamer, right? The memory gain is fantastic. It happens at start of turn like Cody. You can get 2. And then the second effect is also really good. So honestly, it's just really strong card overall. Again, it is going to be passing over 5 memory every single turn though. We have 4 bodies on the board. This round he kind of like is playing around the bird. Going into the Gallant. So Gallant is pretty cool because like, same thing, like the games kind of like stall out. And then when your opponent has a lot of cards in trash, you can, you know, Gallant to close the game out. Pretty cool concept. Plus you can like go into Gallant just to like get a pop and like put some pressure. I always like the original Zhuqiaomon. He's a solid card. Of course, in EX2 we'll see a whole new Gallant line, and that's gonna be really exciting, so I definitely look forward to that. Okay, gonna see the Fire Rocket, get that +1. He did get the extra memory, right? But I mean, there are blockers for days, literally days, right? Although I guess he's like okay with that trade, right? Because then you can use the dual tamer to get the restand. He still gives all the effects, so making a pretty solid push, I would say. Yeah, he gets the extra DP boost. You know, finally can force out all the blockers, but he still needs to do 3 more damage, right? So it's still actually kind of tough to close the game out, I think. Okay, gonna just go into a Beamon, get some more searches. So the Beamon is super cool, you know, it can pick up dual color cards. You can take options and tamers, which is really powerful. Like usually this type of Digimon can only take Digimon. And then the Magna, who's gonna be that big blocker. He's got a bunch of armors in the trash. It's gonna have a crazy amount of DP. Magnamon, a pretty solid card. I know a lot of people really love that Digimon. This time around there are bodies though, so maybe Bird could be possible. Although I guess if he goes into a Bird, the Armor Rush player could just keep his Magnamon and be okay, right? There probably are 10 cards in trash by now. I'm sure Gallant is doing some work. Actually, like, pretty close game. The red deck is super cool though. Like I said, it's a really cool concept. Like I like seeing decks that like people look at the Bird and it's like it's a good effect, right? It's definitely a good card, but it like I don't know. Nobody would like think to make a deck around the Bird, right? So I respect that. Yeah, he gets to keep one of them, so only one of them gets destroyed technically, and then because of the purge, it actually gets saved. So the Bird doesn't even get the memory or the security. So actually, like a really good answer to the Bird, basically. I believe the Bird is 13k though. Still a pretty big body. There's an Agumon in the back. I mean, he has double hero, right? So like DP boost would not be a problem. You can use the Rise Grade to clear, and then it's gonna give him the +1 memory, card draw, and +1 security from the Bird, right? So actually pretty good. Then after that, there's quite a bunch of cards in the trash. Can use the other hero as well, plus all his inheribles that I believe also give him DP. Does hit into the option. That option is really scary. He has quite a bit of armors in the trash. It's gonna be -4 and then minus, what is it, 5 to the rest of the board. It's not gonna clear anything though, which is a bit unfortunate because like that card can be absolutely insane in security. But yeah, after all this time, Red was finally able to push through and essentially go through all the security. But he needs to close the game out. There's still a Magnamon. He's gonna go into a Blitz Omni to force the block, right? Now the Armor Purge is gonna save the body, but the Armor Rush player, like, you know, he had the initial push, which was nice, but after that he was never able to get like a consistent board or be able to push damage, right? The Magnamon play was nice for sure. Okay, make sure the memory is right from the dual tamer. Could he win this turn? Hits into the Crimson Blaze. It doesn't actually kill it though yet because he gets the extra DP when attacking, so he's still alive. In that case, he might have actually wanted it to die, so he could like, you know, Digivolve again and get more damage. But looks like that's gonna be game 1. That Bird play was still pretty spicy. You can see how the red deck works. As for Armor Rush, I'm not the biggest fan of it myself, but like there's definitely a lot of support. Like it's gotta be a decent deck for sure, right? I think people predicted it to be like really good. I don't know. We'll see. Gonna start off with again a bunch of Beamons. Get the Surge. On the other hand, we have blockers. We're gonna see a lot of blockers. Like I said, his deck plays so many blockers. Cordamon. Kind of just like take it easy in the early game, you know, set up some tamers. The TK and Kari, you know, was definitely really good last turn. It's kind of funny because like I feel like Cody is like infinitely better than TK and Kari in like the yellow decks. But this is like a red deck that actually gets great use of the TK and Kari. So I'm a fan of it. Goes into the Rise Gray, so he's giving up the blocker, but you know, I mean, the Rise Gray is so strong and he does play quite a good amount of tamers. Flame Dramon can swing, survive because of the DP boost. So once again, going kind of aggressive, except this time a bit early on. I mean, there is no TK and Kari yet, right? Goes into the Hydramon just to pass turn. Gilmon in the back. Yeah, so he has the Gilmon because as we see, he plays the Galamon, so he can, you know, get the full warp, which is pretty cool. I don't know if that comes up too often, but that Gilmon is, you know, nice. There we see the Digiburst, keeping the baby for the card draw, and there's the TK Kari. He already took 1 damage, so I don't think he's going to be swinging at the Armor Rush security, so essentially guaranteeing it's going to have memory for days. Gets the card draw and then Crimson Blaze. The, you know, it stopped the special summoning. I'm sure there's a better way to say that, which I don't think matters for this deck at all, but honestly, the discounted clear is just so good. I'm a huge fan of Crimson Blaze. I feel like if you are playing a red deck, it's hard to like not want to play Crimson Blaze. That's a pretty solid play though. He's able to Hammer Spark and then go into a Magna to actually clear, which is like, you know, really good because the Armor Rush, like we haven't seen him being able to like answer the board at all, right? He's just going super aggressive. So I actually do really like this play. He is going to be passing over quite a bit of memory. because of the dual tamer, like we've been saying. Gonna go into more blockers, just keep the blockers coming. Actually go into the War Growl. The Memory Choke at 1. But hey, 2 armors. At this point, he's already passing over memory, so like, might as well continue to be aggressive, right? Keep swinging. Your Digimon need to be answered twice. The armor perch is a strong keyword for sure. I feel like you definitely can get really good value out of it. And it synergizes well with what you're trying to do, right? Like your armor dies, so you get the rookie, and then you can go into another armor. That's pretty cool. I don't like the beam online personally. Okay, it goes for the double check. So it dies, which is pretty funny because like now the second check has jamming. But then he checks into a Geogray, which doesn't care about the jamming because it's gonna kill the beam one with this effect. So a really funny interaction there. I like the idea though from the Armor Rush player, like given the second check jamming is actually super cool and pretty funny. Gonna continue the aggression, swinging with the Magnamon. The Geogray is, I guess, kind of annoying, but once again, he's done a good job in the early game to get in that damage. So I guess the question is like, will he be able to close the game out? Maybe set up some tamers. Yeah, we see the Davis. It is gonna pass over 6 memory, but like the Davis will definitely be key for the future. The man is gonna get swung over twice, which is fine. He gets the card draw. And might have to just be building blockers. Yep. There's the Monochromon and Biomon blocker. Can't memory choke, but I mean 2 blockers. He has guaranteed extra memory. So from this position as the Armor Rush player, like how could he close the game out? I'm trying to think of like he only needs 2 swings technically, right? But there are definitely gonna be blockers making his life annoying. I wonder if he plays any hybrids. Okay, gonna just go into another Magnamon. You know, just be a pretty annoying dude. Gonna pass over quite a bit of memory. I think like not going wide is good. That's what the red player wants you to do, right? If he just plays a bunch of rookies, for example, like then the bird would show up and just completely ruin his day. So I think that this line of play is okay. At the same time though, like if he doesn't go wide, then how is he gonna be able to do the damage through the blockers? We actually see a Gaia Force come out just to clear the Magnamon. And it's funny because like it doesn't even clear the Magnamon. But now there's just a Beamon with jamming, which isn't too scary because there's blockers. And again, if he just stays there, like that's fine, it's just fuel. Now that Beamon could turn into another armor Digimon, and I guess that could be potentially scary, right? But with 2 blockers, even if there was a Electromon, I think it's okay. We see Hammer Spark and another Davis being set up. I guess trying to just find more pieces, right? Not has a like he doesn't have a good like board or like a good game plan maybe, right? So just find the pieces that might get him there. Goes into a Flame Dramon. We're gonna see if we can see more blockers being summoned this turn. I don't know like when is the point at where the red player like starts going the aggressive, but as you see he plays very, very defensive, and like he's usually not going to be swinging or anything like that unless it's gonna be going for game, right? Doesn't want to be like checking anything in security or like just play it safe. As he waits, he can eventually make a big push with either the Gallimon or the bird. Goes into a Skull Meramon. I mean, it's just a vanilla, right? But it's cheap. Sets up another Tegankari. So now he's gonna guarantee himself 4 extra memory no matter what. No hero this game, but honestly, like you have to pass over some amount of memory. Double Tegankari is pretty good. Okay, but now we have double Davis, Flame Drum on the board, Beamon in the back. Beamon's not coming out though until I guess he's gonna be swinging for game. Gonna be forcing some of the blockers. And it goes into a Chimeramon. I think he wanted to bait out the other blocker and then Chimeramon the Biomon. That would have been a really sick play. So kind of heads up to block with the Biomon first, right? Everybody gets minus, what is that, 4,000 DP? But it's not enough to kill the Monochromon. And Ice Wall to Memory Choke, but it still passes over a good amount of memory. I mean, Chimeramon doesn't have the armor purge, so like, well, he's gonna get Gaia Force. Back-to-back Gaia Force to just clear, and wait, and set up. So yeah, I like the Chimeramon idea. It didn't actually lead to any damage, sadly. The Beamon in the back is still just chilling there, you know, waiting for the right moment. But I don't know when the right moment's gonna be. Gotta check how many cards are in trash. This is definitely like a clear tell that a Gallimon is coming for sure, right? When your opponent asks you for information, like think of like what they are probably asking that for, right? Like in this case, 100% it's Zhuqiaomon. So yeah, like Armor Rush, once again, he had that good early push, he got a lot of damage, but then it just stuck against this wall of blockers and then good amount of clear. Goes into a Lobo, which shows that he does play hybrids. Okay, but now there's a bunch of Digimon on the board. The time to go for game. Gaia Force. Gaia Force is still solid, right? These days there's Dark Gaia Force, I guess. But obviously you can't play it in decks like these. Okay, place a hero. Oh, because he wants the red tamer, so he can use the Gallant effect to clear. I mean, it's fine. He can just take one more turn. Next turn, the Gallant's gonna put in a lot of work. This Beamon has once again just sat there, and like I don't think that's bad necessarily, but like he just wasn't able to do anything out of it, right? Sets a dual tamer, which maybe would be enough next turn, but it's unlikely. So Gallant's gonna trash 2 security, then check 1. And then he has more than enough bodies. Everybody can just turn sideways and go for game. So a really cool match and a really cool red deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching.